Welcome to the couch. We have with us Joshua, as always,
What's up,
and
everybody?
the fantastic Alexis.
Hello.
So we had gotten to talking to quite a many things. It was a highly varied and in-depth interview, I think. Went very well. One thing I didn't get to discuss when we were talking about the crossover between the virtual world and the real world, there is a distinct example that came to mind for me. There was a Mac virus someone programmed that altered the motherboard's software of your laptop so that it always thought the temperature was like 20 degrees Celsius. So it never turned up the fan, and it also rated it underclocked, so it was always amping up its clock speed and its processing power, which physically made the thing melt and catch on fire and electrically short out. An instance of a virtual system having that, it's like that Matrix moment when you burst out of the machine, right? The virus has burst into the real world in a literal flame of existence in material world. So wondering what, if any of you knew of examples of this happening elsewhere, and also this matrix idea of birthing yourself from the virtual into the real.
Well, I think I'm pretty sure there was an example recently of some government hackers, I think mostly from Britain, but I could be wrong, who hacked the Iranian nuclear program and basically got one of their nuclear centrifuges to destroy itself. So a very similar kind of thing. But if you think about it, any car in like the last 10 years at least is just full of computers, even when we're not talking about self-driving cars and things like that, which, as someone who has programmed and fixed and worked on computers, I try to remind myself constantly that these are computers that have one little task that they do, so they're not likely to fail in the way that the computer that sits at your desk that's designed to be able to do everything you want it to or anything you might want it to, and it doesn't know what that's going to be. Well, but yeah, no, computers, they are everywhere.
It's maybe a sidestep away from your question, because I think the short answer is either no, or else my memory just isn't going to serve me right now to get a specific example. But I feel like basically just every sci-fi movie that's ever been made, every sci-fi description of what it is that could eventually happen is being mined by the people that actually do make real things, and they're experimenting with ways of going in those directions, even if they're not, hopefully we aren't going to just send ourselves spiraling down some, horrifying path that, loses track of the positive possibilities here. But something about how the ideas themselves are generated long before the actual implements to do them are, and so they end up being made, and we can in a certain way see just this incredible offspring of products that emerge out of the ideas that people have about how things are.